Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Beef, Yours Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
For the last time at 330 North 48th Street, we come to you on the block. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. Strick, I've only been here 8 months, so I can't say I'm nearly as attached to this building as everyone else is, but it's the end of an era. That's always a big deal.
I mean, it's been here. This place has been here for quite some time. It's been a Stapleton right here off of 48th, just between R and O. And to be moving downtown, it's gonna be fun, especially during football season. Still, the first home game, to be able to take in just the atmosphere, what it's like to be downtown at that time. And I you know, since I moved back, it's been a different type of a drive. That drive is going to change depending on the day and the time. I have to still figure out how to navigate because it could be some traffic, some heavier traffic. It's kind of easier to maneuver into this location than it is there, depending on what's going on down in the campus area. So, but it's going to be fun. You know, if you guys get a chance to come down and just see it, it's a wonderful location. It's a wonderful spot. It's a great setup, and the engagement between the fans and the listeners and the station individuals like ourselves that work there is going to be fun.
New level.
Yeah, it's a new level.
We're excited for it. 1040 O Street. Stop by, say hi, starting tomorrow. Wave at us through the window, but also not too much. I'm kind of a little puppy dog. I get distracted very easily. So if you're waving or you're staring too long, you will distract me. So if you think that's good content, I guess I just gave the secret away. If you don't think it's good content, wave and move on. That's the strategy. But stick with us here today for the next couple hours on the block. Lots of interesting topics to get to, if you ask me. Some college football, some basketball stuff to get to as well. But first, we got to thank Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, located 27th and Pine Lake here in Lincoln. Go say hi to them. They're open through the weekend. Probably a little too late for their lunch buffet right now, but tomorrow, Saturday, Sunday, definitely stop in and see the crew, get their lunch buffet, fill yourself up with some great food for your soul. 402-464-5685. If you have any thoughts on anything we're talking about, here's a question, Strick, Husker football related. Let's just jump off into that real quick. Gorilla Bear says, curious how the atmosphere for Rule's first home game will be. Coming into it 0-2, most likely starting a backup quarterback, seems like it could be a little down from prior openers.
You mean as far as the energy level?
The buzz, the energy.
The buzz?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's very possible. I think his name's Gorilla Bear, right?
Gorilla Bear. You're repping him.
That's what it feels like. It feels like 100-pound gorilla is just resting over the program right now, and you just got to try to shuck it. It's not easy to get it off of you. Let me just say, let me ask you this question. What is more pressure? Is there more pressure on Nebraska than it is on NIU?
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the pressure is so heavy to perform. You've kind of dropped the ball in a couple of away games. You come home and it just seems like there's so much weight. There's so much weight because if you don't perform, what do you hear? Do you start hearing the media? Do you start hearing the boo birds? Does people start leaving early? I mean, like, I don't think Nebraska, this is a unique season, and it's sad because it's Rule's first season and he's not really the catalyst of it, but he's bearing the brunt of it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very possible that this could be the season in which there's a dramatic shift on energy level towards the high level men's sports, which is basketball, football, and even I think maybe baseball.
Maybe, yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think this is a turning point as to how Nebraska fans are going to feel. Like I heard somebody, it was crazy. I heard somebody start saying, since Nebraska is no good, then, you should start looking at surrounding universities. You should start probably supporting Colorado. You should probably start supporting Kansas State. You should probably start supporting Iowa. It's I've heard some people kind of throw that out there, and I'm like, no, that don't make sense. Nebraska's Nebraska. It's but how much we support them and how we feel about the program is a whole different thing. It could get to a point where it's so dry. This is what's scary. It's so dry that you're going to have to do things to woo them back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Now, volleyball is not going to have that problem.
No.
Yeah, I think some of the other sports,
softball,
I think track,
hype this year.
track. Yeah, I think some of the other things,
well.
but obviously, yeah, but the numbers that go to watch them is just not the same level. I think basketball's on the chopping board is with the same type of energy. What type of energy are they going to have if they don't put the product out there? That the expectations of the Husker fans are now saying, you know what? I've been supporting just because I love it, but now I'm to a point where you got to show me. You got to start bringing the product out here.
Text line, let us know how you feel about what you think the atmosphere is going to be for Nebraska football against Northern Illinois on Saturday. Let us know if you're going to the game as well. If you're going to the game, make sure you stop by the studio, say hi on your way. We'll be doing pregame coverage, so we will be downtown at that point. But, Strick, I think back through the last home openers, right? The stadium holds, 90,000, give or take, capacity-wise. I'm sure if Nebraska would have played against Akron and won, you would have had 115,000, 120,000 people say they were in the stadium for that game. It was electric. It was the start of the era, just everything we dreamed of. We didn't happen. It got rained out. Mike Riley's home opener, you're still kind of, who's this guy? Mm-hmm. What's he doing here? You lose on a Hail Mary, essentially the gun.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a problem. Before that, you have Bo Pelini, who I think most of the hype around him was more, it's anybody but Callahan, more so than, oh, we love Bo, perfect hire at the exact right time. Like, yeah, he had been here before, excited to have him back, but almost more excited to get rid of Callahan. And I'm not old enough to remember Solich's home debut or Callahan's home debut. So there just hasn't been a lot of energy around these home openers. And that's even more glaring when you compare it to Colorado. Right? They go on the road for their first game, they win, and then they come back home and they have another big game against a team that so many people in that state next door have been raised to hate. So just going from Colorado's home opener last week to Nebraska's this week, having the same Nebraska team playing in both games, sure, there'll be like polite excitement. We have to be excited. He's still our coach. He's here for a while. It's not going to be easy to, move on from anyone. So yeah, we'll be politely excited, but I don't think it's going to be an amped up crowd. I don't think it's going to be a delirious, all right, we're here kind of crowd.
That's what you saw last week. They were jumping, they were rowdy, they were yelling at cameras. I think you'll have a, like you said, a stoic kind of, we're here, let's see. But if you don't get the charge or the big play or I think you're going to it's just going to be, we're just glad to be watching the game. You know what I mean? I think people are going to be more excited. It's crazy as it sounds. There'll probably be more people excited about the tailgate.
Oh yeah, without a doubt.
So I'm hoping that's not the case, because I know Nebraska fans are some of the greatest on earth. And I just happen to experience that. I think they're in a, show and prove state now. It's like, it's like a magician's been up there showing you and tricking you and making you think that there's something in this hand and there's really something in this hand. And you've been getting sleight of hand every year. It just seems like, right? It seems like a magician's playing games on you and you're like, oh, I know this trick. I've seen this before. I'm tired of this. So I don't know.
It's probably from Tricky Nicky. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
That's important to keep in mind too. I don't want to tell anyone how to be a fan, right? Gatekeeping fandom, telling fans, this is how you have to think. This is how you're wrong in what you feel. I'm not a fan of that. I'll just give you what my perspective is. These players know they're 0-2. This coaching staff knows they're 0-2. For me, as a Nebraska fan, born and raised, again, not going to be in the stadium or anything, still wanting the best for these guys. Is my excitement, enthusiasm dulled somewhat? Yes. But I'm not, going to scalp tickets and go in there cheap and boo because they're 0-2. They're still laying it all out on the line. Maybe their best isn't very good right now, but you can see that they're building, they're growing, they're putting that effort out there. If you're an angry fan, you're pissed they're 0-2, there's no way it should have happened like this. It's your right to go and boo and be upset and stand their arms crossed, all mad when everything doesn't go right. But I don't know how much that helps. But it also doesn't help, though, to be, whoa, yeah, best hire ever. All right. No, I'm undaunted. Yeah, Rule 8, it tastes so good. That's also counterproductive in its own way, right? Where I'm at is wait and see, Okay, they have another chance to go play. They have another chance to lay it all out there on the line. Show me what you got. You do something good, I'll clap. You do something wrong, I'll be disappointed.
My question to you and to the Sutter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685, is this. You had 90,000 that showed up for a volleyball game and were rowdy. I think they're pretty rowdy for
into
it, right?
For a meh game.
Are you going to see the same type of atmosphere for this game as that one? Yes or no? On the text line, shoot it out, 402-464-5685. Just your thoughts. Do you think that you would see the same type of atmosphere that you saw for the women's volleyball team, filling up that stadium, 90,000 for this Nebraska football game? And if you don't, then why? Why do you think? Is it the opponent? Is it the 0-2 start? Is it you're tired of the same old rigmarole? What is it if you say no? I would love to hear from you, just your thoughts on that, and maybe we'll be able to address some of those. And today, I think it's a good day for us to take a call or so, just if we can, on a couple of topics that you may have interest on, because we would love to hear from you as always. Being that this is the last time that we'll be here in this board, we definitely would love to hear from you one time before we get out of here. Somebody wants to shout out, you're welcome.
I'll say this to your question about volleyball. I think there will be that initial wave of emotion during pregame because Nebraska football is back in Memorial Stadium, right? There's just something about it being back that no matter how the team is, good, bad, anywhere in between, it's Husker football. It's bigger than all of us, is the thought. You're just excited to be back in the stadium. So I think pregame will be pretty hyped. I think the fans will do a good job of making it a good environment for those players coming home for the first time, for this coaching staff running out there for the first time. Again, delirious, probably not. Polite excitement, yeah, I think so. First quarter, I wouldn't be shocked if it's dead. But here's the thing, Strick. If Nebraska's up 14-21-0 in the second quarter, I think that touchdown that puts Nebraska over the edge will be there for the fans, right? They'll react to it. It'll feel like a party environment. Oh yeah, we're rolling. We're good. We're in control. Things feel good. If the game continues like that and it's a blowout, I wouldn't be shocked to see, people leaving early to beat the traffic and all that.
Or go back to the tailgate.
Something like that, which would be too bad, because I think as important as the welcome and the introduction are for players, there's something too strict. And I'd love your perspective on this as a former athlete. The intro's cool, but seeing fans there after you win, right? Hey, they stuck with you the whole time, even after a loss. Hey, we're disappointed in the result, but we're still there for you as a fan base. I get why people would leave early. It's the human nature thing. But at the same time, I think it's important, just as important, to be there at the end of the game to applaud the players as it is at the beginning.
Yeah, I would agree. And, shout out to Downtown Scott, who says on the text line that he will stop by. He will be downtown to bring it. The next texter, unnamed texter 7769 says, check this out. This is what's crazy. Comparatively speaking, I paid $22 a couple of years ago for the Huskers versus the Buffaloes game. $22. Now,
I'd love to know
200 something, 300 something bucks. That was 2 years ago,
right?
When they played. So that's kind of crazy in itself. I like Willie's comment. Says he thinks that the D will get a great ovation because of their performance in the last few games as well.
Make a big play. I dare you, defense. I dare you.
Yeah, do something. Billy Joe Bob says there's a football game this weekend. I've got to say, it doesn't feel like it. So when Billy Bob is saying, we know it to be so, but the energy in the town, it doesn't feel like a normal Saturday Husker game is approaching.
Mm-hmm.
Am I wrong, or is it's just kind of just the city's just kind of on just going about its business?
I think you're onto something there. Kind of okay, let's go get this over with. Almost, right? Nebraska is favored against Northern Illinois. It should be. I know, despite everything we've seen, Nick and I talked about Northern Illinois' win being impressive, but with some caveats to it. And then their loss was just as bad, if not worse, as Nebraska's two have been. But Cirque, I think that's been the theme all offseason. And now we finally get to see it in action at home. Spring ball's one thing. Fall headlines are another thing. But this team comes home at 0-2. The team needs to show the fans something, and you won't win that back in 1 week, right? You're not going to win back all the trust, all the love, all the excitement, all the energy, all the buzz in 1 week. It's going to take a win over Northern Illinois. It's going to take a win over Louisiana Tech to continue building throughout the season.
That's what I was going to say.
By the time you get to Iowa, even though it's the Black Friday game and it's at home, the hope is that's the best environment of the season because the team has earned it and built to it.
That's what I was going to say. I think this is just a building process, kind of like a crescendo. And you want to build and gain and redeem that respect. And it's going to take a valiant effort from those young men that is in that locker room to look each other in the face and say, we want better for not only ourselves, but for this staff, but more importantly, for those who have supported us and stayed in there with us. I mean, that's they've got to figure out how to create that fodder. That what Colorado's doing. They're creating fodder. They're creating anger points just so that they can figure out how to be mad at something. Well, be mad at something. If it's yourself, if it's, obviously you don't want to be mad at teammates, but be mad at, figure out what to get mad at. Get mad at just your lackadaisical play. Get mad at turnovers. Get mad at something so that something changes. Because when you're mad, upset, disappointed, there's two things you can do. You can continue to wallow in it, go down the same road, the same path, continue to let it fester and stay dirty, or you can go get in a freaking shower, clean yourself off, change, rearrange, patch up, do something to something where you got a hole, patch it up, so there's two ways to go about it. You can either leave the hole there, continue to freeze, or continue to let it be exposed, or you can patch it up, change it, and go do something different. And that's what I'm hoping to see.
The coaches and the players are the only ones with the ability to change where things are at right now.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
It's up to them to do it on Saturday, and then the Saturday after that, and Saturday after that, and the Friday after that, because that'll be Illinois. He's Eric Strickland. I'm Austin Norman. Good stuff there on Husker football. Again, let us know if you're going to the game. Let us know how you feel about the home opener for Matt Rule and this team coming in week 3. Stop by the studio downtown 1040 O Street. Say hi tomorrow and Saturday. When we get back, Strick, I want to dive into a little bit of Nebraska, Northern Illinois, some more thoughts from fans on the environment and their attitude. This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week. And right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker Highway. But the lot at Mullen Motors is full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
An energy tip from LES. Schedule a furnace or heat pump check to ensure your heating system runs at its peak efficiency before winter arrives. Learn more easy ways to save at les.com.
Got the State Farm Personal Price Plan on my car insurance.
So you told your agent you play the bagpipes for your dog?
What? No, I didn't get that personal. My agent just helped me create an affordable price just for me. Okay, let me show you what I've been working on. Hey, Buster!
Prices vary by state. Options selected by customer. Availability and eligibility may vary.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Warning, this ad will use the F word often, so listen at your own risk. Family fun, fun with friends, freedom from fuel, free Yeti cooler, free driveway delivery. Hey, this is Carl from Nebraska Golf Carts and Price Right Auto, and we have the all-electric Bentelli Fun Carts, and they are a blast. Plenty of fun colors, and these street-legal carts come in both 4 and 6 passenger. Tell us you heard us on the ticket and get a free Yeti cooler with your purchase. Hurry, supply is limited. Check them out at 1235 West O in Lincoln or NebraskaGolfCarts.com.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Guys, you've heard me tell you all about Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping, but it's not just me. Folks all over town are getting into shape with the FXB program. Guys like Brian, who joined at the same time I did a year and a half ago.
Yeah, Mark, I'm in better shape than I have been in quite some time. The people at Farrell's are awesome. The instructors keep the workouts fun, and the owners are engaged and committed to the success of all of their members.
The next Farrell's 10-week challenge begins on October 7th, and ticket listeners get $150 off enrollment. Just head to theticketfm.com. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 40th and Yankee Hill and 70th and Vine. Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Oh, DP jokes. That's what it is. Movie shenanigans. Once again, it's always. I'm telling you, the all fair stuff is just absolutely hilarious. Some of the stuff we get to laugh at, giggle at, sniggle at. But once again, DP never fails.
It's true. That's why we're moving downtown. Never fails.
Jokes.
Let's dive back into the text line here, Strick. One of them that you pointed out was from 8374, who says, I've been a Husker fan all my life, but for the first time ever, I really couldn't care if I see this game or beyond. It's like watching a bully beat up your kid and not being able to do anything about it. Yeesh. That's a strong indictment of where this person stands with this program.
But I mean, I think this goes to what you're saying and what you were speaking about of being considerate, being polite, just because it's the right thing to do. But do you really feel? Yeah, do you really feel that way? And this is why this type of game is dangerous, because it can either send you down the rabbit hole of that feeling, that sentiment even more if they don't play well. Like, how do you feel if they just squeak it out? Like literally, if you see a lot of the same types of stuff, you don't see any movement, you see some 3 and outs early into the second quarter, it's just like a bunch of like nothing, no excitement. And then they squeak it out 28 to 24. You know what I'm saying? Like, how do you feel?
See, that's a loaded question. You don't feel great because you're stressed. You're on the edge of your seat. Nebraska's in a one-possession game again. And we all know those haven't gone well recently for Nebraska. At the same time, at least you won, right? How many times has Nebraska been in those situations against better teams and against worse teams and against equal teams, I guess, and lost those games? It's hard to complain about a win, however it looks at this point with this program. You have to take a win. It's hard to apologize for a win. If it goes in the W column, thumbs up, good job, it's a step forward, right? But it also, I think, depends, to your point, what does it look like, right? Because it matters, but it doesn't matter how it looks. And I think that's where, depending on where you're at as a fan, will change how you view the result of the game. Because we heard from 8374 Strike, who has that apathy, who's just done, doesn't want to see any more. 4171 says, I ain't leaving early, even if we win by 50. Wins are rare these days, and I'll be there no matter what.
Yeah.
The fan base doesn't agree on anything. It is all over the place on both sides of the spectrum.
And then you have 4392, a name texter says, everybody is tired of being disappointed and frustrated with getting the same lip service. Regardless of who the coach is, the season already feels like a wash, and hope for the future is bleak at best. I'm 34 years old, and the Huskers haven't done anything for 20 years. They have had most. OG, my life, it's embarrassing. I mean, just think about me. living in Texas and living in certain places, and I try to wear my supportive Husker gear, and they'll be like, "Oh, the Huskers ain't been good. You played football?" I'm like, "No, I played basketball." "Oh, they're just as terrible." I'm like, "No, actually, we were pretty good."
Yeah.
Like I constantly for the big programs have to explain that we weren't always this.
Dude.
I almost had to dump that because I almost said it. But yeah, man, I'm tired too.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm tired of having to have the feeling, and it's just like what the unnamed texter that I just read. It's like I feel like I've been getting beat up, and I can't do anything about it. I can't do it. Like I would love to be able to go back and put on a uniform and get out there and scrap and hustle my butt off and try to win some games, but my time is done. I can't do anything about it. But that's what it feels like. It just feels like, oh gosh. Oof.
That's from 4392. A man named Ashley has this kind of, again, standing on the other side. Ashley says, I'm afraid the fans are making Rule's job harder in keeping the team focused when the fan base is frankly acting unintelligently by calling for his job. Let him do his job and make those firing calls in a few years if it looks bad. I haven't heard anyone, calling for Rule's job, not even Marcus Satterfield's job. Jeff Sims' job, there have been plenty of calls for, right? So, actually, I don't know where you're hearing that, but I hope that's not the case, right? I hope that's a perceived slight, like Matt Rule can use, right? Oh, they're calling for my job. They hate me after 2 games. Now I'm even more motivated to go out and win this one, Dion style. But that's not Matt Rule. That's not his approach. I don't think he's going to do that. But losing the first 2 games, Strick, I do think, given how mentally fragile Nebraska teams have been in the past, losing these first 2 games probably does make it harder for the coaching staff to have the attention of the team, because they were promised this. They were said, hey, this is going to be how things go. These are the results we're going to get. And you don't have them 2 games in. Us from the outside, sure, maybe some of us picked them to lose to Minnesota. More of us picked them to beat Colorado before the season. Colorado wins, then maybe that prediction changes. But every locker room thinks it's going undefeated and has to reevaluate every time they lose a game, right?
Yeah.
So the messages that we're saying as radio people, that fans are talking about, isn't the same message that's going on inside the team. So you hope the team is mentally strong enough to stay focused, to recommit, to double down on the process. That's been the phrase this week, right? Double down on the process. The worry is that not everyone is, to use the buzzword, bought in to some degree. The ones that aren't fully bought in, that still aren't sure, that are on the fence, these 2 losses only make it tougher for them to want to buy in. The flip side of that, for the ones that are, bought in, whatever that means or looks like, for the 2 losses, it's harder for them to maybe connect to those teammates who needed that return on investment to spark something like, oh yeah, this can work.
Yeah, and some of you guys on the text line are saying a lot of this is happening on social media. Social media is like a multiverse. It's like it's a universe that is it exists, but it doesn't. You know what I mean? Like you can't really listen. Everything isn't always reliable and true. You kind of got to vet and so forth and so on. So there's a bunch of trolling going on always over there. So I hear what you're saying, but I also know that there's going to always be detractors and naysayers and stuff like that, especially if you embed yourself into the social media spectrum the majority of your time. That's why I try to travel and do things and go sit down and have me a glass of wine and smoke me a cigar every night, just to take my mind off of that aspect. But I hear what you're saying. Now, here's the thing. Question to you and to those who are listening. You guys are so great. Thank you for the wonderful text. I wish I can get to all of them, but it's so many. And we'll try to tap into as many as we can. Again, if you want to call in, you can call in to the Allo VIP line at 402-464-5685 as well. But listen, check this out. Looking at the schedule, looking at where we are, what changes that frame of mind for you this year that gives you some hope that the trajectory of your program is trending in the right direction? What would you need to see as a fan? What would you need to see as a longtime Husker fan, as someone who supports Husker athletics? What would you like to see in the rest of this season as you look down the road, outside of these 2 games, because these are 2 games that hopefully you should handle. But what would you like to see to give yourself a ray of hope? Luke Skywalker type of hope, Star Wars 3 type of hope that the trajectory of your program is shifting. It is moving in the right direction.
For me, Strick, it's 1 win at a time.
Because I don't even think it's 6-6. I'm not even going to say bowl game. I'm just going to say I think there's some things that you would like to see. And for me, it's handling home games. You know what I mean? Like as I look at this, I look down the road and I'm like, the way you change the trajectory of a program or the way you change the mentality of a program, to me, is take care of home. Do not ever let anybody walk in your doors and think they can walk out of here unscathed. I have a Mossberg. So if you try to break into my home, everything gets sprayed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's what I'm trying to say. To me, it's like, do not let anybody just come in your home and feel comfortable. They should always be on edge, or they should always be worried. They should always be concerned that they're going to walk out of here. Like there's in movies, I think it was Harlem Nights. He says, you're going to walk over, but you're going to limp back. You know what I'm saying? That's the way I feel. Like that's how much passion I have about when I play ball. It's like you gonna feel me when you come into my house. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's what I would like to see out of Husker, the athletic program this the rest of this year.
To your point about the home games, right? Nebraska's home schedule: Northern Illinois, Louisiana Tech. We know those. Michigan has a huge opportunity. Here's the thing, Strick.
I still say chance.
Nebraska hasn't pulled off a big upset like that in so long. Either the programs do or it's cursed to never pull one off, right? Mm-hmm. It happens to plenty of schools across the country. Why not Nebraska?
Why not you?
That's the question. After that, you have Northwestern at home.
Yeah.
You have Purdue at home.
Yeah.
You have Maryland at home.
Yeah.
And you have Iowa at home.
Facts. Why not?
4-3, 5-2 at home shouldn't be off the table.
I'm looking at just maybe Michigan, and I'm looking at we gonna be in a knockdown drag out. Like if somebody comes into the octagon and you're the champion and you won a lot of freaking fights in a row. Mm-hmm. You're basically like John Jones or Hajime Sterling before he got clipped, and you know what I'm saying, you're one of those type of guys. Mm-hmm. And you're coming in and nobody believes. Why not? Okay. I'm going to give you deference. I'm going to say, why not 5-1? Why not? You know what I mean? Because I'm saying Michigan, let it be a knockdown drag out. Like you're going to be scratched and clawed. Like you may knock me out, but just understand that you're going to need some ice and you're going to need some Epsom salt. And you're going to need some of those smelling salts when you leave this building. You may beat me, but that's what I'm talking about. I want to see that type of fight.
But you'll beat me playing my best. You'll beat me when I didn't back down. I'll add this onto the home game atmosphere too, Strike, because it ties in these last couple segments. When's the last time Memorial Stadium was intimidating for an opponent? I honestly think, Strick, that a lot of the mystique of Memorial Stadium has been stripped away. And to some degree, it's chicken and the egg, right? You have to play better to get the fans involved. But at the same time, having a good environment from the fans can make a difference on the game.
Yeah.
Right? So I think both groups, the players and the fans, need to work together to make Memorial Stadium an actual intimidating environment, because there are a lot of big college football stadiums now. The sheer size isn't as overwhelming, especially not for guys that are, playing conference games there year after year. So you take that away. The relative quality of the team isn't as good. You don't come in like, oh my gosh, this is Nebraska's house. What are we doing here? Do we even belong to be on the same field as these guys? Mm-hmm. It's just another game. Mm-hmm. Just too many teams, right? And this is where I think the fan attitude sets in too. One thing goes wrong and the fans are like, oh crap, here we go again. Not, hey, can I yell a little louder, a little longer to try to make the other team goof up and swing the game, right? One person doing that won't swing it. 90,000 doing that made an impact on Nebraska, and it was 50-some thousand at Folsom Field. Now imagine almost doubling that at Memorial Stadium, right?
Yeah.
It takes better play, but fans can also be more engaged and involved.
Listen, you guys are great. You guys understand this thing better than me. Joseph William Abbey, thank you for sharing that on the stream, on the Facebook stream. Tried to get it's very long, but you're absolutely right. This is no blame on Rule.
Not yet.
I will say the only blame that you could probably place on Rule up to this point is that looking at Jeff Sims, and Jeff Sims was the guy you chose.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? That's really the only thing you can throw. So then you now as Coach Rule, are you going to fall? This is now the question that is going to come from people. Are you not going to fall in the Scott Frost mental state of staying with Adrian Martinez too long, not trying to replace him, not trying to move off of him,
not having a viable alternative behind him.
Right. So that's kind of where Rule's probably going to be judged more harshly than anything out of this year. I don't think the win-loss column, because he wasn't brought here to do a Colorado turnaround. He was brought here to turn a program around at a step-by-step trajectory, getting it back, headed in the right direction.
Absolutely. He's Strick. I'm Austin. We're playing the shootout next. 402-464-5685. Take on Strick in trivia. 4 questions for the Husker Hall of Famer. 4 questions for you on the Honda of Lincoln hotline. You beat him, you get $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. Take your shot at Strick. Again, 402-464-5685. We'll play the shootout in just a sec.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. There are standards you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
An energy tip from LES. Schedule a furnace or heat pump check to ensure your heating system runs at its peak efficiency before winter arrives. Learn more easy ways to save at les.com.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin at premierdw.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We've got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting on September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See Club for details.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Big box stores are tempting for buying equipment for your high schooler in sports or for yourself in your sports leisures. But buying new is awfully expensive. Why not go somewhere with new and used options? Play It Again Sports has quality, slightly to gently used equipment, and 50% of their inventory is actually new equipment. And it's more than baseball, softball, and golf. They also have equipment for disc golf, fitness, hockey, and more. Plus, they're always buying products. Bring your gear you're done with and get trade money on the spot. Play It Again Sports at 48th and Vine.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your length of forecast for today, we'll see a mix of sunshine and a few clouds as well. Afternoon high should be around 81. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies and a low of 58. Tomorrow, showers and storms are likely. Temperature's a little cooler. We'll see a high of around 78. Meteorologist Kyle Clucker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show. Sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Creekat, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. It's time to play Shootout with Strick. Call now, 464-5685, to take your shot against Eric Strickland. Shootout with Strick. Brought to you by Buffalo Wings and Rings.
Time to play the game.
Nick is here. He is not in the stream.
You didn't see him because I just drew on him, and I drew quickly. Quick draw, Stricky.
Okay. Quick Draw Pro. Strict Draw Pro.
Yeah.
So I knew the phone lines were going down. They're down right now as we prepare to move. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to play the shootout. Nick is going to play for the callers.
Ooh.
If Nick wins, what we're going to do is the first texter in that says they want $30. Actually, the first person in with their order at Buffalo Wings and
There
Rings
you go.
gets the $30 if Nick wins. If Strick wins, it goes to texter number 3 with their order.
There you go.
That's how we're doing it.
So get ready to text your order nonetheless.
Correct.
Yeah, but be the third.
Be a fan of me.
Because I'm trying to beat the brakes off of Tricky Nick.
Is that right?
Yeah.
We'll see what happens.
All right, Stricky. Here we go. Your round starts.
Nick goes first.
No, Strick goes first. Strick always goes first. That's how this works. Starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He leads MLB in home runs. Pete Alonso or Matt Olson?
Matt Olson.
Olson.
Strick goes first.
Strick, I'm sorry.
He leads all
You
MLB
are
pitchers
so
in
lucky.
wins. Spencer Strider or Justin Steele?
Steele.
It's Strider. He leads MLB in stolen bases. Bobby Witt Jr. or Ronald Acuna Jr.?
Acuna.
Yep. And if the season ended today, this team would be the final American League wild card.
The Cubs.
American League
Oh,
wild card.
oh.
I'll give you another guess.
Whoa.
You stole one of his.
Okay, I stole it. I gave him the answer.
Final
American
American
League.
League wild card.
Red Sox.
Red Sox are in the news. They just fired their chief of baseball operations, Shane Bloom, today. The Seattle Mariners are currently wild card team number 3.
I'm dead because he knows everything about baseball.
No, not necessarily.
Look, why are you looking at you see him? You see him?
You're getting Googled.
You see, I'm getting Googled like a mug right now.
Yeah,
Tricky Nicky. Tricky Nicky Googling me out right now.
I gave you Matt Olson. You're welcome.
All right, Nick, you gave him a point.
I did
you
give
need
him a
2
point.
to tie.
Okay.
You need 3 to win. Your round starts here in 3, 2, and 1. He has the best ERA of any MLB starting pitcher, Blake Snell or Garrett Cole?
Garrett Cole.
It's Snell. He leads MLB in batting average, Freddie Freeman or Luis Ariz?
Freddie Freeman.
It's Ariz. He leads Major League Baseball in saves, David Bednar or Emmanuel Clase?
Clase.
Yep, and this team currently has the worst record in Major League Baseball.
The Kansas City Royals.
Is it the Kansas City Royals?
It is the Athletics.
It is not
it the Royals.
It is not
Is
the
it the
Athletics anymore.
Athletics?
I can't believe you gave him. I can't believe you gave him. I can't believe you gave him that one. I can't believe you gave him that one. You unbelievable. I can't believe you, my partner. You gave him that one. I said, give me a hell yeah. I get the.
I thought if we had callers, they would go with the A's because they're the story and the tragic story of baseball this year.
You see,
that was happening.
it's rigged against Stricky. You see how it is? It's rigged against Stricky.
All right, we bring Rico in now in the other room if he's listening. Okay,
Hi,
Rico,
I'm listening.
Rico, you're playing the tiebreaker.
Wow.
Strict 0-2 this
I
week.
even gave you a point.
It's wow. All I can say
I
is
gave
wow.
you Matt Olson. How many home runs
I
Matt
would have said
Olson have?
51.
51. Yeah.
Okay, so the tiebreaker. Rico guesses the number. Strick goes over under. How many combined games below 500 are the Royals and Athletics? How many combined games below 500 are the Royals and the Athletics?
Can I guess an answer too?
Yes.
Thank you.
I don't like this.
I got this.
I don't like because 82.
No.
82.
Not
Okay,
even close.
Nick, your guess?
Strick said under.
No, I didn't.
Combined?
Combined games below 500.
Like 172. I can tell you right now that there was just somebody's record with 44 and 100.
So
that's 50 some games below 500.
Right. Because it's
Oh,
combined.
I
The
thought you meant-
difference.
I thought you meant
Not combined
The
losses.
difference.
The number of games combined.
Okay.
That's why it's a good number.
Under 82, Strick?
Yes.
Hold on. Let me think about this. So it's like 44, 56. It'd still be over.
No, what is he's changing?
I didn't
like
say anything.
time.
I haven't said anything. I'm just doing thumbs.
Then choose one.
Over.
It's over. It is 109 games. The
I'm just
Royals-
doing thumbs.
You said under until Nick gave
I
his
didn't
answer.
say nothing.
You
Okay.
said it.
I
That's
did
twice
not
I've,
say.
that's twice I've helped Stricky out on this game.
I
bro, and
did
he's
not
still lost.
Ridiculous.
And he's still lost.
Over.
The Royals are 55 games below 500. The A's are 54.
Were the Royals 45 and 100?
The Royals are 46 and 101.
46
The A's
and
are 46
Can't
and
believe
100.
you gave him that question. Yeah, it's
Hey,
unbelievable.
it's honestly.
I would have won if it
it's
wasn't.
honestly
No.
valid because any other like just a generalized baseball fan would have guessed the A's.
That's
Would
what
have
I'm
guessed
saying.
the A's in a heartbeat.
That's what I'm saying.
So
Okay.
Matt Olson's old team, by the way.
Yeah.
The Oakland Athletics.
It's true.
Yeah.
Nick, thanks for stepping in.
Thanks,
Again,
guys.
we
Thanks,
have an order in, so text her. I will let you know who you are that wins the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. If you can get it today by 6, come here. If you can't pick it up today by 6, meet us downtown.
Yeah.
Where we'll have your $30. He's Strick. I'm Austin. Thanks to Nick for filling in on the shootout. Hour 2 on the block comes your way next.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM for 93.7 The Ticket.
Summer is winding down, but there's no reason to put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Sign up today for 9-hole leagues this fall, any day from Monday to Friday, starting on September 25th. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate and team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Call today at 402-742-0140.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Infrastructure, a veteran-owned local company proudly serving Lincoln, Lancaster County, and the surrounding areas. Bauer provides quality work at an affordable price, and they're growing rapidly. If you want to experience a career with a fast-paced, family-friendly environment, visit BauerInfrastructure.com. They have top-of-the-line benefits, year-round work, even through the winter. Bauer, usher in the new era of infrastructure to an area near you. And as always, go Big Red!
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
General contractors, business owners, property owners. The success of your business requires doing business with the right people. And the right people, when it comes to drywall, acoustical ceilings, and specialty products, are at Premier Drywall. Kevin and his crew will give your project the response and attention it deserves.
You'll get all of the attention to detail and quality that you would expect from someone who's been in the business for 30 years. For your new builds, build-outs, or renovations, reach out to Kevin. Kevin at PremierDW.com. Premier Drywall in Lincoln.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year, the student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design, too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with a campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the Campus Cash app for free and get great deals, too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1. What's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2. Join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3. Bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See Club for details.
Imagine a world where no one explains the rules of the game. Just go out there and do your best, kid. But your best isn't good enough. Junior Achievement is working on leveling the playing field. We need your support. Suit up. It's game time.
Visit ja.org/volunteer.
Tune in to 93.7 The Ticket as soon as the clock hits 0 for the Jay Foreman postgame show. Listen to expert analysis from the Husker Hall of Famer, an 8-year NFL veteran, for 90 minutes after the game. The Jay Foreman postgame show, sponsored by Tanner's Bar and Grill, Vinny Kreekak, and Action Plumbing, Heating, AC, and Electrical on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three. He's going to go out of here. The Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America, On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
We're here, hour 2 of On the Block. I'm Austin Norman. He is the Husker Hall of Famer, the 9-year NBA vet, wearing a gorilla bear with a crown. Looks intense. Kind of reminds me of the juggernaut that Uncle Kev brought in a few weeks ago.
Man, that's just how I roll. I'm like, on my arm, I have a tattoo of a bulldog, and it's like trying to break through my skin. Like it looks like it's trying to claw its way out.
You got that dog in you trying to get out of here.
That's the way, most people, felt I played the game. I think that's why I ended up getting it. And then I ended up adding to it and getting survival of the fittest. And so it's just one of those monikers that kind of helped me to really stay honed in, focused in, remain active in my mentality of wanting to dominate and win. You know what I mean?
Especially against Rico.
Yeah, whatever I was doing. So, but I think that's shout out to my boy Coach Seven. Coach Seven was he coached in youth, and he was he's kind of like the bodyguard of the kids for Dion. So this is his his company and his organization out of Texas. And so I just happen to be wearing it, and it's kind of crazy how it just kind of fits for kind of the mode of the day. I think Nebraska needs to take on they have a gorilla on their back. They got to try to shuck it off. You know what I mean? Sometimes the beating of the chest is just to let you know that there's something coming. There's beware, if you step any closer. But sometimes it's just it's kind of like a check. Like, you might want to check yourself. And I think that's where Nebraska is. They need to do a check, self-check, personal check, team check. They need to kind of check themselves, so that way this season just doesn't get out of hand. It would be sad to go from how close they were to almost making it a bowl game last year to going 3 and whatever. Like, if they only win 3-4 games, that would not, I wouldn't feel good.
It would be a step in the right direction for year one under Matt Rule in his history. That'd be more wins in a year one than he ever had before. But it would be treading water. It would be more of the same for Nebraska. I'm with you. It wouldn't feel like a step forward for this program at all in any way. And it's hard to say that, the season's completely off the rails, because no season should be derailed after 2 games. You still got 10 left. Clearly, there are improvements Nebraska needs to make, but you're 2 games in, right? One of them's a conference game. You lost that opportunity. You squandered it. But then you just played your first non-conference game that has more stakes than a regular non-conference game, and more stakes than most non-conference games have had for not just Nebraska recently, but for most teams, right? So it stinks. It stings, too, that you lost to Colorado. In the grand scheme of things, we might be making it a bigger deal now because it's all the sample size we have, more so than it actually is representative of anything long-term. Minnesota game 1 was always going to be a tall task. It hurts even more because you had it in your grasp and it slipped away, but there's still 10 opportunities left. Your bye week comes at the exact midpoint of your season. You play 6, you get your bye, you get 6 more. There's still time for Nebraska to adapt, to adjust, to find a way to make something out of this season, but the onus is on them to do it. The issues aren't going to fix themselves.
No, they're not. It's like you said, each one individually and collectively has to take a stand on not being mediocre with anything that you're doing. You got to go out and, in practice, you've got to be intense. You can't be lackadaisical. You can't take a day off. You can't take a snap off. There's nothing you should be taking off outside of the week that you have an off, no game. You know what I mean? And even then, I would still be watching film. I would still be trying to figure out what could I do to make, and it can't be you trying to force somebody else to be better. What can you do to be better? Each play, each series, each game, each quarter. What can you do to make a play? And I thought I saw some of that in the Colorado game, but we just need to see more. We need to see a collective, just a compounding of it, not just the one-offs. We want to see a compounding of it, all working towards winning games, winning plays, winning situations that they put themselves in.
You make enough winning plays, you win some games.
You win games.
You win enough games, the rest takes care of itself. It absolutely does. 402-464-5685. Axel Foley was the winner, in with the right timing for the $30 to Buffalo Wings and Rings. We'll play again on Tuesday. We'll be in the new building, so that's where you'll start to pick up your $30 if you win, or if you're caller number 3 after Strick wins. So that's how we do that game. But give us your thoughts on Nebraska, Northern Illinois on the text line, 402-464-5685, or on the comment section. We had someone in on YouTube commenting, Facebook as well, so join them there. Before we move into our first full topic, Strick, I was doing some research into Nebraska versus Mid-American Conference opponents today. Nebraska has played 5 teams out of the MAC. They've played Northern Illinois far and away the most. This will be the 5th matchup with Northern Illinois. Nebraska 3-1 against them in the past. They've also played Akron once, Ball State once, Buffalo once, and Western Michigan once. So it's kind of surprising that Nebraska hasn't, at least to me, played more of those semi-regional, Midwestern feeling type of teams. But my question for you is, do we start to see games like Nebraska and Northern Illinois go away as we expand the Big Ten?
I think it's going to start to fizzle out as it draws. Obviously, it looks like it's trending towards super conferences. The more that you trend towards super conferences, probably the more that you're going to have more conference games and either high profile non-con games. You might have probably 2 non-cons, and they're going to be a non-con, not necessary. Like I think what's going to end up happening is teams are going to, as you get into super conference area, teams are going to be penalized for taking those type of games. It's going to be unfortunate. It's going to be unfortunate for those schools who use that to help out on their budgets as far as their programs, so forth and so on, because that money is $800, $900 million, whatever it is good. But I think it's going to start to, there's going to be a penalty probably that's going to come in, and it's who's going to end up outside of the conference, because everybody knows that certain conferences are going to have more strength or top to bottom strength or so forth. Who's going to be willing to take the challenge to schedule a non-con with a semi-power or an underboss, so to speak? Like if the SEC and the Big Ten is the super boss, then the underboss, which would be like the ACC. I think the Big 12 will be a competitive league as well. But with the exit of Texas and Oklahoma, how does that change that landscape for them being a super conference? I think they're still an underboss conference. So who's going to be willing to challenge to go down there and play Kansas State or a Texas Tech or a Houston or a Florida State? Because Florida State's looking to exit too. So be watching where they go. Do they go Big 10? Do they go Big 12? Now that changes some landscape things. Do they want, who wants to schedule Miami? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to do those type of scheduling to play that game? Notre Dame still right now independent. Who's going to schedule in Notre Dame? They're going to probably get more benefit for scheduling them as you expand the playoff. So I don't know how they're going to rank it. I don't know how their numbers is going to work, because that really hasn't come out yet. But I think that's what's going to happen.
I think there are 2 sides at play, and how the College Football Playoff Committee selects the 4-team versus the 12-team playoff is going to be similar, but also different. Right now, the goal of the 4-team playoff is go undefeated. If you go undefeated, you win the 12 games and your conference championship game, you are essentially assured of making the college football playoff. You're not going to have 12 undefeated teams in college football making the playoff. You're just not. So that's where strength of schedule, I think, is going to really come into play, where I think Big Ten teams are going to have a little bit of an edge by adding the competition, that the conference has. The SEC, I think, still gets the benefit of the doubt, and we'll talk about what's going down in that southeast corner of the country here in just a sec. But if the Big Ten's conference schedule does go to 10 games, they're not going to want 2 games against a Notre Dame and another like underboss, kind of conference team. They're going to want these MAC teams. So I think the bottom line ultimately will end up being hurt to some degree for your MACs, your Sun Belts, your Americans, conferences like that. I almost wonder if those games are going to be in higher demand because teams don't want to play 12, Power 5 games.
I think the top tier teams probably would, because it's also going to be big level TV. It's going to be recruiting. You're going to probably get to a point where people aren't going to want to be excited about watching those games on TV. I think SEC and probably Big Ten could get away with it because they're probably going to get a little bit more deference. I would say a Texas Tech would not, or a Houston or a Cincinnati, they wouldn't benefit by doing that. They're probably going to want to take a challenge to move up. I don't think a Duke or a Virginia Tech would want to do that. They're going to want to step up and get that visibility. So I think it just depends. You may be right. Those top tier teams may be like, oh, cool. I mean, I might do it. It won't hurt me to do it. I'll play Miami of Ohio if I'm Ohio State. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You probably get them. They could take a chance at it possibly and get away with it because they're going to play enough high-level games to where that can make up the difference.
And that's what I think is important too, where you're already playing 9 games for the most part that are pretty high level. Now, maybe an Indiana or a Rutgers doesn't, rise to the level of a typical conference opponent or what we think of as a conference game, but they're still listed as conference games, so they have to have a little bit more importance tacked onto them based on the standings. But that's where I think, your Northern Illinois, your directional Michigans can play a role because, yes, so many of these decisions, Strick, are being driven by TV ratings. That's why, Nebraska has opened with conference games the last 4 years. It's why they have, these Thursday games and these overseas games that are conference games. But at the same time, what are we talking about? What are fans clamoring for? Why can't Nebraska start the season, at home for a couple games against some cupcakes, get its rhythm? Matt Rule and the coaching staff brought that up too. He said, yeah, ideally, we do start against some teams that we can work our way into these games with stakes. There's got to be a balance and a line drawn because the TV executives will want 12 Power 5 games. They will want every week to be meaningful, right? But not every week can every game be meaningful for every team in the country. You need to sprinkle in some bad games, right? Like you got to have your Commanders and Cardinals games, to balance out your Lions Chiefs, your Cowboys Giants, that sort of thing. Coaches and teams need those games. The lower programs need those games for their own exposure. The money they get paid to travel keeps them going in a lot of ways because football is an expensive sport. So this is where I think coaches and administrators can't only be beholden to the bottom line. Because if that's all they want, the TV executives are going to get their way, and it's going to be 12 games of Power 5 on Power 5, which is fun. But how many times as fans do we like having a week off, having a game that we can, flip back and forth between or just have on in the background and not pay full attention to?
Ask the text line because they're the ones that would be better to answer that, because I would agree with you. I just think that the landscape is going to change about how the committees are going to view who they end up going with, because if you're an 11-3, if you're not 11-3, if you're a what 9-3,
9-3,
because they may even add games now that if they go into Super, they may even add a game or two, right? So okay, let's just say you're 9-3. But you're a 9-3 team that 3 of your losses was to Tennessee, LSU, and Florida State. All close. But you're 10-2, and your wins were against Miami of Ohio, Wyoming, and then your conference. And then 2 of your losses was against, just say you're an SEC team. 2 of your losses against Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Who are you going to go with? Right? A 9-3. I think that's what it's going to come down to. You're going to end up probably putting a 9-3 team in because you're going to look at
resume.
Miami, Ohio. You're going to look, and it's going to hurt. So I'm okay with you taking it. but I think and I could be wrong. I could be totally missing the mark. But just going by what we've seen over the last with the 4 of how they've kind of taken into account certain things, I think it only gets worse.
Text line, like Strick was saying, let us know. Do you like starting with a conference game? Would you prefer to have your non-cons first and then work into conference play? 402-464-5685. To me, Strick, it feels like we're headed toward NCAA tournament March Madness style resume comparison. Right now, we really only have it for teams, 4, 5, and 6. 1, 2, and 3 are usually pretty clear cut in the 14 playoff, but that bubble expands. And now you have to compare, for teams 5, 6, 7, 8 who get a first round home game. It's important to compare those teams. Why does 8 get a home game, but number 9 doesn't? Why does 8, but not 10? Kind of on the periphery of the resume. I think instead of the goal being go undefeated, schedule so you go undefeated, which really seems like it's been the goal now for the 14 playoff, it's going to be more, net ranking style, right? Strength of schedule comes into play a lot more. What are the hardest games you can schedule that you think you can win is going to be a big part of it. You're assured your conference games, right? And I guess some of that will change year to year, who you play, where you play them. That just changes naturally. But in terms of the non-conference, you're going to look for teams that you're very confident you can beat, that you think are still going to have a good season at their level to boost up that strength of schedule.
Yeah, and Husker Demon on the Sutter Heyman text line says this. He says, for teams like Nebraska, they are so emotional and mentally fragile. Non-conference games to start the season are invaluable. Those are the games where you work out which one of your quarterbacks is going to fumble the ball 3 times a game and fix it before the schedule really matters. I mean, and that's why most people want those type of games, because they want to try to iron out kinks, right? I think that in due time it's going to hinder more than it's going to help, because teams are going to basically say, like let's be real. Let's just cut everything that we've known, because we've talked about something. We were going to get into something which we're talking about. We're gonna talk about stuff that's going on up in Dartmouth. Okay. But we're in NIL. If you're in NIL and you're paying players for their name, image, and likeness, guess what you're expecting more out of them to be? Professional. So in essence, we're not saying we're not trying to put you in the kiddie pond, or we're not trying to put you in the kiddie. We're trying to put you in the deep water. You said you can swim.
Your feet can't touch.
You said you can swim. You get out there, jump off the diving board, and swim. This is where I think this is where we're getting to, because you're saying you're a professional. You're saying you're worth this. You're worth that. You think you deserve. Then you should be ready, because guess what professionals do? They show up ready. You know what I'm saying? So that's all I'll say about that.
Makes sense to me. Text line split. Shocker. We have Scott and Jeff saying hate conference games first. Start with the non-cons. We have Longsker saying he wants conference games to start, so that way we know it needs to be fixed more than if you play, cream puff sort of team. And then 0508 Strick says what I think is the way we're heading here. As a fan, no way I want Nebraska versus Bethune-Cookman. I want as many conference games as possible and sprinkle in some big-time non-conference games like Nebraska versus Texas. Again, that's what TV wants, all these big games every week, all the time. Coaches don't want that. They want a couple of those games where they can, get backups and develop behind the scenes. And again, there's no week off. There's still a sense of urgency. But we know the difference between a Northern Illinois game versus an Illinois game for Nebraska.
Facts.
Coaches want those types of games.
I mean, I get it. I understand why. I'm not gonna fault the thought of it, but I'm also gonna just project what I think or perceive the possibilities of it being.
For sure. This is on the block on 93.7, The Ticket. We'll step aside. Plenty of college athletics news around. Strick mentioned the Dartmouth story. Maybe we want to touch on some Alabama Clemson. Where do those programs go? Through 2 weeks, they're both sitting at 1-1. What's up with those programs? Is their run over? How do they move forward? Plenty of stuff we can get into. Again, let us know on the Starter Heyman text line, 402-464-5685. What's the environment going to be like for Nebraska on Saturday? Do you like starting with conference games or non-conference games more? Let us know all that and more. We'll get to it as we continue on the block.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM-certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
With your Southeast Community College High School Minute, I'm Harrison Arns, and here are your Week 3 high school football results. In Class A, Kearney beat Lincoln North Star 35-7. Lincoln East would get the win in their intercity clash against Lincoln Southwest 28-7. Lincoln High would get shut out by Omaha Central 45-0. In Class B, Lincoln Pisa 10th would lose to Hastings 37-13. Norris would dominate in their win over Lexington 62-0, and Waverly won over Mount Michael 49-7. Switching to volleyball, on September 11th, Lincoln Northwest lost to Crete in 2 sets. Lincoln Lutheran defeated Malcolm in 3 sets, and Elm won Murdoch in 2. Norris won over Lincoln Northwest in 2 sets. Lincoln Christian would also lose in 2 sets to North Bend, and Lincoln High was defeated by Omaha Northwest in 3 sets. This has been your Southeast Community College High School Minute. Learn more today at southeast.edu with locations in Lincoln, Beatrice, and Milford.
Accelerate your financial journey. With Kasasa Cash, experience the thrill of earning more with each transaction or the freedom to withdraw your cash from any ATM nationwide. Not to mention, no monthly service fees. It's the power of earning up to 5.5% APY on your Kasasa Cash with Liberty First Credit Union. Earn rewards beginning at a penny, continuing up to $40,000. Visit libertyfirstcu.com for details. Federally insured by NCUA. Liberty First Credit Union. Banking with purpose. Account qualifications apply.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make in your real estate journey with Next Ag Appraisal and Realty. Whether you need an appraisal, sales, or farm management, Next Ag comes up with a solution with your legacy and goals in mind. Next Ag isn't just their name, it's your future. So why wait? Visit their website today at www.nextagrealestate.com or give them a call at 402-380-0432 and turn your dreams into reality. Your land, your legacy, their solutions. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Hot tub season is here, and to celebrate, Bonzal Pool & Spa is having a sale so good that they're offering it up for the whole month. Soak up the savings when you purchase a new High Life Collection or Limelight Collection spa and receive a free step and cover lifter from now through the end of September. Stock will go fast, so hurry in and claim your new spa today and soak up the savings at Bonzal Pool & Spa, 33rd and Highway 2, or at bonzalpool.com.
Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Tune in to the Teammates Mentoring Hour each Wednesday from 6 to 7 p.m. on 93.7 The Ticket. Hear stories from the program started by Tom and Nancy Osborne and how it's changed mentors and mentees' lives and how you can be involved. The Teammates Mentoring Hour, Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 o'clock on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see a mix of sunshine and a few clouds as well. Afternoon high should be around 81. Tonight, we'll see mostly clear skies and a low of 58. Tomorrow, showers and storms are likely. Temperatures a little cooler. We'll see a high of around 78. Meteorologist Kyle Cluster for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you for another half an hour or so. Again, last show here in this building. We're moving downtown. Come check us out down there tomorrow. Wave through the window. Say hi. Strick, we teased this at the end of the crossover with the happy hour fellas. It's a big topic because we're still waiting for that snowflake to turn into that snowball, to turn into that avalanche in the realm of player payment. You know, name, image, likeness has really come to the forefront, but we knew that there was some smoke around Northwestern players trying to form a union of their own. Well, a Northwestern-ish school, maybe even smarter than Northwestern, Dartmouth, the men's basketball team specifically, is seeking to unionize. This is different, whereas Northwestern, how I read it, how I understood it, was trying to start a union of its own with its players and form its own thing. The Dartmouth men's basketball team has signed a petition and has applied to be members of a pre-existing union that's based out of Hartford, New Jersey. If that goes through, that is a huge step for student athletes across sports.
Yeah, I think this is probably where you're going to see there's going to be a lot of blockage. Let me just say they'll be trying to block this from coming through and actually happening. Shout out to guys like, oh gosh, who started it? He was my teammate too. Golly, Ed O'Bannon.
Yep.
Shout out to Ed O'Bannon, who really is the one that kind of started the spearheading of this NIL situation. But I think this would change the landscape of college sports. Now, I can understand why they're doing it. These players are already paying huge amounts of money to attend these Ivy League schools.
That don't give out athletic scholarships.
Don't give out scholarships. Like, look, they're not making a whole bunch of money up there, but they're still getting money from conferences and so forth and so on. So help them in whatever way they can get that help. If that means unionize, I mean, so my question then, Austin, is, does this make them employees of the university? Do they make them W-2? Do they, what is their benefits and what are some of the problems that may exist out of working these kinks out? So it makes it difficult for me to kind of see it in my head because they're not really employees, but yet would it make them? I don't know.
It's funny you bring that up because to, apply for unionization, to be a member of this union, you have to put down an employer on your application or your petition. The Dartmouth men's basketball team said their employer was Dartmouth College / the Dartmouth College Board of Trustees, claiming to be employees of the university or the Board of Trustees. And they are, but they aren't.
That's what's gonna depend on. See, this is the thing about the justice system. It's gonna initially depend on which court it ends up in, what the judge, their interpretation of the law, and then it's going to go to an appellate because it's going to be appealed, and then it's going to depend on what that appellate, group of judges, how they view this whole thing, because
And then there'll be an appeal of the appeal,
and it'll keep going on up the chain. So this is a long time away. This is not anything that's going to be rectified anytime soon in the next year or two. It's a long way off before we can really get into it, but it's going to start. There's going to be some precedents that are going to start to be set and also challenged as far as some rules.
I'd love to know the full argument. I can't wait to hear the court filings and the motions here, because the arguments that both sides choose will be very important, right? You have to choose your words extremely carefully and precisely when it comes to an issue like this, because this legitimately could reshape, and if it goes through, it would reshape college athletics and how they function. It just does by its very nature. The relationship between school and athlete is what's under question. I don't say under attack necessarily right here, but definitely being called into question, because no, the student athletes don't really work for the school. It's a unique relationship because you can't put it in,
because they're not on scholarship either, so it's different. So you can't say it's So what are they? They're like kind of stuck in this kind of voided zone.
Yeah,
for them, right?
They're in limbo. They're in between.
They're Division I. They're not Division II or III. They're actually a Division I university. So what's their standing?
Do they work for the university, the college, or do they work with it? Do they work with the university, or do they work on behalf of? Or is it neither? Because do they sign up to represent and work under or for whatever the university or that program specifically?
Or can they even obtain NIL?
Or that?
You know what I mean? Because of the fact that there's such a difference in what they are potentially as far as how they're viewed. So yeah, this is a crazy thing, but there's some smart kids I mean, whoever's working with them or on their behalf, they saw something. Maybe it's something that just really needed to be addressed. Maybe it's something to push these Ivy League schools to giving or finding ways to get scholarships to these young men and women that happen to attend.
Academic scholarships are out there, I'm sure. Maybe not for all of them, but at least for some of them. But yeah, I would love to know the Ivy League stance on that. It's still crazy to me that there aren't athletic scholarships if they're going to be playing in Division I, right? Like, it explains a lot of, I think Yale's downfall from football prominence. How you look at Princeton as this big, mighty, not even big and mighty, this tiny, small underdog, when it's this big, powerful, historic institution. Like, these are Ivy League schools. They have a certain amount of, clout behind their names that we typically give to athletic programs, but they're on the academic side. As powerful as they are academically, as much money as in their endowments, you think it'd be better at sports, but when these student athletes have to pay to go to college, it makes them not want to go there if their goal is athletics.
It kind of makes me feel as if they don't want athletics to thrive. It's kind of like that this cliche word of good old boy network. Like, oh no, we just want to stay where we are. We want to stay in our lane. We don't want to really get into the athletic form of things, and we just like what we like. We want to stay where we are. We're okay where we're at. Because I really would believe that if they had scholarships, you would probably get some pretty good athletes that would want to go there, because they're also pretty academically. So what they end up doing is they end up deferring, and they'll end up going to, like Villanova, or they'll end up going up to Stanford, or they'll end up going to Georgetown, or you know what I mean? So they end up going to certain places, still playing, but just deferring because they're not getting the scholarship that is being offered to them from these other schools. I'm a good athlete, but yet I'm still smart too. Like, they're not weighing that balance. They're not taking that balance into account.
No.
You could be both because you're considered a student athlete. Nebraska, for some reason, has one of the records for the most academic All-Americans. But Notre Dame or places like this, Creighton, schools that are actually very well as far as their academia, but kids don't want because there's no scholarships available.
You talked about the student athletes being in limbo, between employees or not, where do they fall? But I think that's really college athletics in general, Strick, when you think about it, because I think traditionally, and I say traditional, I mean, 1890s to like 1920s, it was very high schoolish, right? That attitude where you play for your school, you're there to attend school, but also while you're at school, you play football, you play basketball. Whereas now, so many of these choices are made off of how can I become professional? And there's a lot of those professional elements creeping into college athletics where it's a good middle ground to occupy, college sports being a higher quality product more often than not than high school, but you can still tell they're learning, they're young adults that are growing into their skills compared to professionals who are paid to do that. It's their day job. But college athletics, I think, in a lot of ways has allowed itself to be pulled in both directions instead of just planting its flag in the middle, picking the aspects of both sides that work for it, right? Because it makes sense that they would want to chase the professional level TV dollars.
Yeah.
But at the same time, for student athlete welfare, for fans, it'd be better if they went to more of the high school model where you play regionally. You have those games that you can drive to. It's a short flight, easy commute to. That's not what we're going to in the Big Ten. There is a middle ground for college sports to occupy. That's why I think we fall in love with it a lot of times. But instead of planting its flag in the middle and picking and choosing, college athletics has allowed itself to be blown in the wind multiple directions.
I'll even say this for myself. When I was being recruited, there was being that my father was an officer in the Air Force, and so obviously the Air Force Academy, Naval, the academies reached out, and I actually was looking to be either a naval aviator or an Air Force aviator. I was excited about the potential of doing that. So I actually looked hard at the Air Force Academy when I was being recruited. I looked at them. I looked at the Naval Academy, but what kind of deterred me was my athletic prowess and knowing, like David Robinson, that after my time at the academy, I would have to go into service for a certain amount of years, which then would have ate into some of those good years of my good years of my professional career. Because you got to remember back then in that time, yes, you had some rarities of high school players coming out, but in the majority of them were seniors. You know, in those earlier parts of days, you didn't really have many juniors coming out. You didn't have many freshmen and sophomores coming. You mostly were seniors by the time you came out. So I didn't want to waste that. So that's probably why you kind of find these little voids that kind of happen where people may not want to go to BYU, even though, or Utah or wherever, because they know they have to go on now some will, because that's just that you got to go on a mission. So I mean, those types of things kind of sometimes, if you have professional, thoughts of becoming a professional, those things can hinder you from the locations in which you attend. And I think if scholarships were available at some of these Ivy League schools, I think you would probably find more students would want to attend.
Do we know, is that something that's like against the Ivy League bylaws? Is it a gentleman's agreement that they don't offer it? Because to me, if it's just a gentleman's agreement, yeah, you'd probably be throwing your standing with your peers, down the drain because they've been doing it the same way for so long.
I'm sure they get creative.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
The 4 for 40 kind of setup.
I'm sure they get creative. They find creative ways to do it where it's not a scholarship, but some things are worked out. Right. I'm sure they find ways to do it, but I don't know. I don't know anybody that's done it.
I don't either. And that's where I would be curious too. Let's just say, let's pause it out. Hypothetically, one of the ways that they make it work, they make it even, is they give you an internship opportunity, right? Is that a good thing to be putting out there? As you come play for us, we give you this internship opportunity. Is that the right way to do it? Or does that take a spot away from a student who would be working for it, right? we can't treat those two groups differently. You know, you can't give it to an athlete just for being an athlete, but you can't withhold it from an athlete just because, oh, he's an athlete. That's the only reason he's here.
Yeah. I'm sure there's probably ways, because they're definitely interconnected and intertwined with a lot of big top Fortune 500 companies, and there are probably ways to get them in. Being that they're not on scholarship, it affords them a means by which those internships can probably pay more than just your typical.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm sure that there's way, or, you know, with you finish at a certain tier or level of your education, and you probably have a job opportunity there afterwards. But then if you become a professional, then what? So it's kind of crazy, right? I don't know. It's a weird dynamic, but it's one that won't be worked out anytime soon. It's going to take some time for this one to work its way out.
Let's finish with that. 5 years? Is that too long to have an answer? Is that about the right time frame?
Yeah, you're probably looking at 5 to 7. I mean, it's just going to take time to get through those court systems. It's not going to be a high priority thing. It's going to be a lot of what are they called? Lobbyists, so to speak, that are going to try to kind of, hey, you know, let's slow this process down. We got to put it on a docket, but let's slow it down. And then what ends up happening is, you know, how long is your pockets? How long are you willing to wait this out? The kids are going to be gone by then. How much do you really care about this issue? You know, the next group that's coming. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you know, it's going to depend on just, can I wait you out? Is there still going to be pressure after a certain amount of time passes on, or is it just this group? The next group don't give a doggone a flying, you know, freak. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
Fascinating to monitor. Again, Dartmouth men's basketball seeking to unionize with an already existing union. Definitely something to follow. We'll be tracking it. Maybe not as closely as we're tracking Nebraska, Northern Illinois, but maybe that's second on the docket. I don't know. He's Strick. I'm Austin. This is On the Block. We'll cross it over next.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire, 402-560-6197.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holidays. They offer great pay and paid holidays. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program friendly for qualified candidates. It's a fun-friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference. Is your backyard ready for fun with friends and family this fall? GE Landscape Supply has pavers and boulders, which are a great accent for any backyard landscaping project. And you can find them at 6701 Cornhusker Highway. GE Landscape Supply sells to homeowners and contractors with a vast selection of landscaping and construction materials. And don't forget, they deliver anywhere, nearby or far away. Stop by 6701 Cornhusker Highway from 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday to Friday and 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Go to GELandscapesupply.com for more info or call 402-467-1627.
Allo is turning 20 this year, and we plan to celebrate all year long. Since 2003, Allo has vowed to put customers first and deliver a drastically different experience. No matter where you live, work, or play, we believe you deserve an affordable, secure, and reliable connection. We're proud to have served our businesses and residents with seriously fast fiber optic service for 2 decades. Thank you for trusting Allo as your local internet, phone, and TV provider. Follow us on social media to know about the 20th anniversary celebrations in all our Allo communities.
LES is hosting an EV Ride and Drive event at Haymarket Park on Sunday, September 24th. Attendees can sign up to test drive a variety of electric vehicles. Visit les.com/drive to learn more.
All right, it's lunchtime. Where should we go today?
How about Qdoba? We can get free queso and chips with an entree purchase.
Whoa, how'd you know about that?
It's in the campus cash booklet that we got for free to start the school year, the student marketplace. You didn't get yours?
I'd better go grab mine now.
You'd better stop at the College of Hair Design, too. Your hair is getting long. $8 haircut with the campus cash book.
What about my friends who are out of college?
They can download the Campus Cash app for free and get great deals, too, from Pizza Hut, Juice Stop, Craft Axe Throwing, and tons more.
Campus Cash, the student marketplace. Find your free booklet on campus or download the Campus Cash app.
Hi, it's Charlie Stone, and here with me is Andy Goodyear, General Manager of Honda of Lincoln. Andy, I know the new Honda sales are going really good right now at Honda of Lincoln, and with that, a lot of fresh trade-ins are coming in. Can you tell our listeners about your pre-owned selection?
I'm happy to, Charlie. Like you said, with new Honda sales going very good, we have a lot of fresh trade-ins coming in daily, and not just Hondas. We have just about every maker model you can imagine, with over 100 pre-owned and certified pre-owned to choose from, and prices starting at just $5,900.
Wow, what about financing?
We have financing as low as 3.29% APR on certified Accords and CRV.
Thanks again, Andy. People love the selection and great service at Honda of Lincoln. Maybe it's time you come experience the Honda of Lincoln way of doing business. 27th and Yankee Hill Road or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy, better sleep, blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for just $10 a month and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs, or get down with some dumbbells and strength equipment. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for just $10 a month. It's glow time. See Club for details.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Koppel Chevrolet GMC, and Bob just wanted to say thank you for a record-setting July here at Koppel. The summer sales event continues in August, and the incentives are crazy good. Check this out. We got 0.9% financing along with a $2,500 trade-in rebate on select new models. You heard right. 0.9% financing has been extended along with a trade-in rebate. Also, our GM certified used inventory is filling up fast, so make that money-saving drive to Koppel. It's just south of the interstate, or shop online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with roof credit.
Alexa, play 93.7 The Ticket.
Okay, playing 93.7 The Ticket.
Alexa, turn down the lights.
Dimming the lights.
Alexa, order a pizza, the big one, all the toppings.
Are you sure that's a good idea?
Alexa.
That's a lot of pizza for just one man.
Alexa, just do it. Stop judging me, just do it.
As you wish.
Thanks, Alexa. You're my best friend. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up On the Block for today and for this building.
It
Man,
is. Last
DP.
Coming to a close.
Last crossover here. Anyway.
Yeah.
Last crossover here.
DP, we know we know you're tired. You've been working your tail off.
Oh, man.
There's so many things and opportunities. I think for me, again, this has been a treasure that you have basically taken the dirt and shined it up and turned a lump of coal into a diamond. And the things that are now happening for the 93.7 Ticket team is going up like the Jeffersons, and it's a beautiful thing. I know that you're wore out. You've had to deal with the contractors. You've had to deal with people down at the city with all the different all the different red tape and stuff that you had to break down. But you and Rebecca have done a tremendous job. This has been a place that we've loved and where it's been birth. But now the beacon's going to shift and head downtown. So kudos to the work that you've done, and it's good stuff.
The buried lead in that is that Becky has been just she's a machine. Like she's a machine.
Shout out,
like
shout out behind the scenes, working and handling business.
Yeah, this is her. Like this is her. Mark Onwell, through all the stuff that he's been going on. So imagine through all this process, all of this stuff has been going on through the process. So there's that to Jake Sorensen, to the crew, the staff, to our sponsors and friends who support shows and programs and allow us to be like I can
like
have
Mary
an
Ellen's.
idea.
Thanks, Charles.
Thanks, Charles.
Like to have an idea and then to have people support the idea and buy into it. And then trying to, and I want to say this to the Lincoln family, because I know, like when I first got here, and again, no offense to Ryan Tabb, but when I was announced here, they put me in the same announcement with Ryan Tabb, and then trying to explain to people why I was here and who I was. Now, Mark being a funny dude, like Mark's a comedian, and he picked a snippet that he was going to add to the program, right? So you know how when they introduced us in the intro, and he for Derek Pearson, he put, "I'm kind of a big deal," and so many people gave me grief for it, like that was my saying it and my doing it. I'm like, no, Mark did it because Mark kind of knew.
Yeah.
Mark did his diligence.
The funny behind it,
like he kind of knew. Okay, this is what it was. And for the first several months, I really spent time just trying to validate and get people to understand that, hey, wait a minute, look, I kind of, I'm a vet.
Yeah,
like I'm not
been
new
around
to
the block.
Like I'm new to you, but I'm not new to this. And then to get people to buy in, and then pandemic.
Yeah,
shut it down. Can't meet anybody. Can't go face to face, which is my jam. Face to face is my jam. Connection is my jam. Relationships is my jam. And the sports is just the vehicle for it. But the reality is I'm a people person. So I appreciate Lincoln for accepting me, accepting us, for being open to us, for allowing us to come in. It's a little weird to have an outsider come in and say, I see something for you that you maybe not see.
So let's get a 10-second station identification real quick, and I'm going to throw something at DSP.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. The home of Kansas City Royals baseball. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
So DP, here's one thing. We're not going to go into the Dartmouth thing. We kind of exhausted that and all different possibilities. I think it's an interesting topic, but I want to get into this one because we're now coming home with an 0-2 record. We threw it out on the text line. The text line was heated. There was a lot of, 50-50 one side, 50-50 the other side. But one of the things that I, as a former student athlete here, someone who has lived in the state and has watched Nebraska at the pinnacles of its greatness, have had to endure where I've lived in other places where people are asking me questions and saying, well, Nebraska's, who are they? And I have to explain to them that, hey, we're actually somebody. We've done some things there. But then now the sentiment, the feeling, I'm hearing people just kind of having a feeling like this just is another game. And at what point or what would Nebraska have to do? Because if this, I just feel, and you made a good point, and I'll let you say it, but I just feel that there's a point where the fans are just done. They still believe, they're still in, but it's really kind of along the lines of what you said.
Yeah, I described it as polite excitement, where Husker football is back in Memorial Stadium. It's been a long time. There's just a natural buzz about that. They'll be excited for pregame. Game comes. I just don't think the buzz gets to that high a level.
Yeah, it's not the same. It don't
it's not.
feel
They're
the
excited
same.
because they have to be, because they know they're supposed to be, not because they actually really feel it necessarily.
There's some relationship analogies that work when it comes to this. This is your family. You know how you take somebody who has history and you call their thing little.
Is it kind of like a drug addict? Like you're doing an intervention kind of?
You got your little football game because you really don't expect. You can't give it the respect that it's due,
Right?
And you emotionally have to disconnect from it because of things that have happened in the past, right? It's where somebody tells you, "Look, I'm good now. Like I ain't that dude anymore, or I'm not that woman anymore," and you go, "Okay, bet, cool."
Yeah,
right. Because you got the emotional luggage.
Yeah,
that you
it's
hold
weighty. It's like this
yeah,
gorilla. It's like
right.
this gorilla on your
right. Like it's the thing in the room, and
Yeah.
no matter what that thing is, it's still in the room. So you want to just free up and just woohoo all the way 100%. But you did that. You did that.
5 years.
Yeah.
And then another.
Yeah, you've done this.
It's like it's like a bad dream.
You've done this. And
what is that movie like? What is that movie DP before that Groundhog Day? It's like Groundhog Day. It's like, dang, I've seen this thing.
I mean, it's the thing that parents used to say to me when I come to a new school. And it was like, look, I've seen this movie before. I know how it ends. Like I understand the hype and I'll watch it because quite frankly, it's new and it's the only thing, and everybody else is going to watch it. So if they watch it and I don't, then I'm disconnected and I don't know what they're talking about on Monday and Tuesday, right? So you do it until it becomes of value to you, and then you take it over. Volleyball day is the opposite of that. And then what you perceive the thing to be, it actually did the work, exceeded it. It kept you balanced, and that, hey, it's a volleyball game in Nebraska, which you know how to do at a high level. And then you show up and you realize, oh, it's really a volleyball game in Nebraska. And it's the best volleyball game day ever. Oh, and there's a hangover from that. There's a hangover. If you're the football program in a state and an athletic department where 100,000 people got interested, fired up over volleyball in your building, at your crib, and have more excitement than the flagship program in the entire state. Oh boy, you got to feel some kind of way,
right?
But you also can't be in your feelings about it.
Well, you better feel it. The problem is that numbness happens, and you can't allow it. If you're the football program, you know what? I'd have the volleyball team run out the tunnel first.
Something, mix it up.
Right? Stand at the 50
throw a
yard.
wrench in
Like
it.
we send out captains, send out the entire volleyball team.
Merritt and Lexi, go.
Yep, go get it. Hit the worm, do your thing, Lexi, let's go. John Cook, walk them out. Grab the microphone before. We know what 100,000 sound like. Let's get it. Right? Matt Rule, let's go. Like look him dead square in the face and say, let's go. Like
It's
this how we
time.
get, like this is it now. When we talked about Austin, I've been talking about the importance of this game. I'm not even talking about football. I'm talking about from all the things that Matt Rule talked about: branding, identity, character, strength, power, and then production and actually executing. That's the brand. That's what the N stands for, and that's what it's supposed to mean. And okay. You have a chance to validate that in a state that is waiting for nothing else but you to validate that it's worth their time, their money, their heart. Nebraska fans are asking, can I trust you with my heart? And Stricky, we've all been on that side of it where somebody look you dead square in the eye. And legitimate or not, especially when it's legitimate, right? When they look at you and go, I'm going to trust you with my heart one more time. Look me in the eye and tell me that you got my back. Tell me you got me. Tell me you got me. And then this time actually
got me.
Got me. And it's brand new to them. Like it's like you walking into a broken home. Like if you a single dude, you walk into a broken home, while it's new to you, the scars that exist in that space, you're now responsible for.
Mm-hmm.
And you can say, well, I didn't cheat on you. I didn't spend your money. I didn't do that. Hey, bro, it's in the job description.
Yeah,
you gotta
take
fix
it.
like you gotta fix it. And there's nothing more powerful than the responsibility and then the execution of said responsibility. Those are the two things. This is where this is this week. That through all the stuff that's going on, Nebraska football has an opportunity to heal the entire state. It could scar it permanently, or it could be the first step. And that's the real dilemma, right? Is that if they do it perfectly, it's only a step. If you do it at all wrong, it is a permanent scar. That's just the way it is. That's the state of the affair right now. That's the state of the union. If you get it right perfectly, you have given us fresh air for a week. Then you'll go through it again.
And again, and again, and again, until you don't have to go through it anymore.
Before we turn it over to old school, this is what I'll say. I said, being somebody, I said I possess a Mossberg pump shotgun. If you come and break into my home, just know that everything in that hallway and in that towards that door is getting sprayed, right? In defense of my home. Nebraska has winnable toss-up home games that I'm looking at each and every individual in that locker room, and I'm saying there's no one that walks into this building that thinks that they're going to not limp back out. That's what it's got to become, because if anything less than that, they scar, I think, the people.
I'll take it a step further in how I work, and this is how I coach, and this is how it was. Listen, my house is at the end of a cliff. It's at the edge of a mountain, sitting on a cliff. You come into my house, first of all, the weapons, not necessary. That's something for me to rely on. Me as a man, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you have. Doesn't matter what you bring. Doesn't matter. I don't have a mattress at the bottom of the cliff. I simply have to defend the door. I have to defend the door, and I don't need anything behind me because I've already built it behind me. If I put in work and the house has value, I don't need anything behind me. Players need to understand something. Listen, your girlfriend's in the crib. Your mom and dad, they're watching the game. Your best friends are watching it. They're wearing your jersey. They got your name on their back, and they care. And they're trusting that you put in the work before Saturday to do the dang thing. And then they can only become disappointed when you don't, only because they believe in you. And they hope that, you know what, that you did everything, not only that you said you would, but that you could. Just fight, boys. That's like just look, you'll get all the love and all the perks and benefits that you can possibly stand. We hope that you put in the work this week. We know that you care because nobody goes through the torturous thing that is Division I athletics without it. Nobody's questioning your work. When people talk about these kids that get too much and they're too entitled, nope. That just tells me you've never gone to a Division I practice in any sport. Ever. That's what it tells me. But these are our sons. These are the sons of Nebraska. That's literally, it's in the song. These are the sons of Nebraska. And we don't want to see our sons get pushed around. We want to be proud of them, which we can in the effort. And then the result. And my hope is that they take the step this week. They can absolutely 100% take the step. But it's athletics, it's sports, and guess what? Them other dudes, they on scholarship too.
That's a fact.
We'll see what the environment in the stadium's like. The environment's going to be great at 11th and 0, though.
Yep,
we're excited.
Yes, it is.
We're getting ready.
Yep.
Come on by.
Yeah.
Stop by.
Yeah, and we just got a text that from 12 to 1, Bryce McGowan's is going to come. We're going to do a special hour.
Hey.
He's flying in town for the game, and he's just going to come on and talk a little Nebraska with us. So we're going to extend the day. It's going to be a fun day around the ticket.
Look forward to it. That's tomorrow, but coming up next, Old School. DP here for the first hour. Heard from the Husker Hall of Famer Jay Foreman. He'll be in for hour number 2 for Old School. I believe we got him on green tonight as well before we go off air, right, DP?
6 o'clock. 6 o'clock. We'll go off air for
Thirsty
a bit. Only for a
Thursday.
bit. Only for a bit. It's a short off tonight.
Is it Thirsty Thursday?
It is.
Thursday.
It is. It is indeed.
I think I might hang around. DP.
Let's get it. Let's get it.
There you go. That'll be Old School coming up next right here on 93.7 The Ticket. For Strick, I'm Austin. This has been On the Block. Old School next.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is hiring and seeking motivated applicants. Gray offers a second-to-none benefit package that includes health, dental, vision, 401k, paid vacation, and paid holiday. They offer great pay and tuition reimbursement or a tool purchase program for qualified candidates. It's a fun, friendly team with lots of variety and work assignments, so there's something for everybody. View and apply for their job openings today at grayusa.com. Visit them in person just off I-80 and North 56th Street. Come be a part of the Gray difference.
LES is hosting an EV ride and drive event at Haymarket Park on Sunday, September 24th. Attendees can sign up to test drive a variety of electric vehicles. Visit les.com/drive to learn more.
The Southern Pecan Cake from Beatrice Bakery. They don't just let you call anything Southern, especially when it's baked right here in Nebraska. They're a standard you have to meet, like a rich, decadent, moist caramel cake? Check. Bursting with too many large pecans to count? Check. Big enough to share with the whole group? Check. But delicious enough that you won't want to share? A big check on that one. The Southern Pecan Cake, the newest cake to the Beatrice Bakery lineup. Try it for yourself at Beatrice Bakery. Online at BeatriceBakery.com. Welcome to our world of yum.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals. Rosie's Sports Bar and Grill, open for lunch and dinner at 10th and P or at 1501 Center Park Road. A lot of businesses say that they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business feels anything but for your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, as they do with customers. James Enterprise is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-26740.
Discover the difference that expertise and experience can make your real estate journey with Next Ag